Welcome to Winners Roundtable. I'm your host, Jhanielle Powell. We are here to feature some of the people behind the works that you see at the Lignum Vitae Film Festival. They are here to share with us their advice on how to make a winning piece. We have with us 2 alumni and 2 current students. So without further ado, let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Roxanne. I entered See Me in 2018 and we won for Best Short Film as well as tied for Best Cinematography.
Hi, I'm Sherris Jackson. I've been entering the Lignum Vitae Film Festival for about 3 years. 2017, 2018, 2019. I've won several awards in that short span of time. Much like Roxanne, we worked on See Me together. We copped Best Cinematography and Best Actress. And in 2017, my breakthrough film, Break the Silence, we got Best Actress and Best Short Film, Best Script. In 2019, my last entry was Help. We got Best Overall Picture and Best Script.
Hello, my name is Peter and James, and I've been entering film festival for 2 years, but I've been attending film festival since 2014. So I won in 2018 Best Cinematography for Old School Wheels and Best PSA for Do Not Text, Best PSA again in 2019, Best Commercial, which was called Gucci Men, Best Mobile Film, Best Mobile Film, which was DCS Games, Best Trailer, Agent X, and Best Short Film in 2019, The Gift. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Shanique White and I was a part of the film Break the Silence for 2017. I won Best Actress. I also worked with Roxanne in her film See Me. I was just one of the characters in the film. But I would say that Lignum Vitae has been spectacular and we're going to talk about that today.
I want to get right into the discussion, starting with Sherris. What should filmmakers consider when writing a script, especially for a short film?
Number one thing, consider that it's short. So you have a limited amount of time, a very limited amount of time to tell a complete story, which means you'd have to find some way to write the characters in a way that people can readily understand what these persons are about and their motivations, and try to, wrap the story up in 10 pages or less.
Well, I agree with Sherris, knowing that you have a limited amount of time to tell a story. With my particular film, it was really a silent film, but you could see the consistency of the storyline from beginning to end. And one of the things that I've noticed over the years attending film festivals, sometimes you have a beginning and you have an end, but the middle is kind of not there, or you have a middle and an end, but you were like, okay, when did the film begin? So it's very important to have that storyline, and character development is also very important. There shouldn't be any question as to who the main character is, and there are certain things as like developing the conflict that the character is going to face and going through that in stages, not missing anything, so that when you get to the climax of the film, people are like, oh, okay, that kind of vibe.
So I want to now direct our attention to Pedro, and I'm going to ask you a question about editing, because I know that you edit a lot of your own work. So how do you know when you have it, when it's finished, when you have the product that you want to present to persons?
To be honest, that was hard to... Editing it's like an art, basically. It's for each to their own, because I remember even for the project Agent X, for the trailer that I won for Best Trailer, I remember that was really hard to edit for me, because although you may have, what some people need to remember is that having a shot list sometimes is really important, at least for the editor. If you're an editor and you're also the camera or the director, you should have a vision of how you want the end product to look like. So while editing, when you have that vision, or if somebody's editing for you, you have to make sure that they get that vision that you want in your mind for the final product.
Okay, so for our viewers, can you explain what a shot list is?
Okay, so a shot list, it comprises of what the size shots would be, or the kind of shots. For example, a close-up, or you'd have a medium shot or an establishing shot. An establishing shot is like a wide shot that shows where the setting is taking place, or the close-up, you can use a close-up to show emotions, or a medium shot, you can use a medium shot to even hide some of the scenes that you don't necessarily want in the scene itself. So a shot list just comprises of the different kind of shots you would like in your final film.
Okay, all right, thank you. So the versatility in this panel is evident, and I want to point out, Shanique, you won Best Actress. What does it take to get into the frame of mind to become a different person?
Ooh, all right, for me, specifically from my film, we were talking about domestic violence, and I know that is something that is actually very prominent in Jamaica now, men killing their wives and different things like that. So we were basically trying to highlight what it was like for a woman that's currently experiencing that. And even though the film was way back in 2017, it still has a lot of relevance now. And for me, even when I finished the film, persons were asking me, are you sure you're not being abused? Are you sure everything is okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm fine. But for me, I had to think about, all right, for different scenes, it was required of me different emotions. And so I had to, before I went on and set, I had to sit down and think about, okay, I need to be sad. What makes me sad? And then for other scenes, what makes me happy? So it just really takes pretty much indulging yourself into the film, getting to know the character, just really thinking about what is required of you, and just knowing what it is exactly that the producer or the director needs from you. So when I read the script, I realized that it was going to take a lot out of me. Of course, as I was saying, you have to indulge yourself, you have to read the script, you have to just place yourself in the shoes of the character. What if I was, being abused by my husband? How would I react? Would I call out for help? Even in the scenario of my husband in the film isolating me from my friends, you just have to know how to show that kind of emotion and just connect to the film.
In keeping with the theme of winning, each of you have won in your respective categories. So I want each of you to just describe, what was it like when you heard that you won?
Well, it was my second film. The first one was just a school project. It never really went anywhere after that. So Breaking the Silence was something big for me. And just me sitting there and watching myself on the big screen, that was an experience.
I can imagine.
Trust me, I've never experienced that anywhere else. So when I heard them say, oh, Best Actress Jhanielle Powell, it was almost like my heart fell out of my body. I was like, okay. For that night, I felt like I was floating, really and truly. It's a phenomenal feeling. We won other things as well. So we were being called up for, best script, best this, best that. So, it was really good. I wouldn't trade that moment for anything.
All right, Pedro?
Honestly, I was surprised, to be honest, because I think that 2019 I had entered a lot of films. I worked really hard and I had entered a lot of films, and there was only almost in every category, and there was only one film that was a silent film that I had hope for. All the other films I really didn't have much hope for because it was a very competitive film festival. So when the very, very first winner was announced and they said for short film, The Gift, I was really shocked. And I ran up there and it was like, I was still wondering if this was real because I worked so hard on that film, but I had also given up on that film at the same point in time. I stopped editing it. I just gave up altogether. And I think it was because of my friends why I actually finished it and sent it off. And then when I was going down with the trophy, they were like, okay, best trailer. And I'm just like, okay, let me go to my seat because it's done. And then as soon as I hear best trailer and they're like Agent X, I had to run back onto the stage, give someone the trophy. And I was surprised because that was the next film that the day before it was due, I had completely given up on it. And there was somebody named Don Wason who literally sat down in the editing room while we were supposed to be having class. And he was like, you really need to finish this. You worked hard on it. I had written that script 2 years prior to it. And I just never executed it until that time. And when I heard that, Carl was in it. Of course, Carl was in it. Carl was in it. And it was like, Carl called me and he was like, Pedro, you need to finish the script and you need to finish editing this. So I ended up going to Carl's house like at 11 o'clock in the night. Wow. And I never left there till 12. And he's like, okay, I'm going to wake you up at 2. And he called me at 2 a.m. in the morning and was like, are you up? I finished this part of it. Do the rest.
Wow.
And I sent it off 7 o'clock in the morning, never went to bed, edited. So when I heard that I won Best Trailer, I was shocked. And then after sitting there, when I heard that I won Best Mobile Film, again, when they were like, does lightning strike thrice? And I had to go up there again. I felt really, really good because I knew my hard work paid off. So it was a great feeling and I'm just thankful to God for it.
I juggled a lot of stuff when I was a student here, and film festival was not something I would have put on my plate or above anything else at that particular time in the semester. And I mean, winning for me is not something that I pursue per se. I actively try to stay out of competitions or contests because I'm not a fan of being the center of attention in a room full of people. And much like Pedro, the editing phase is always the worst because there were times that I wanted to give up and there were times when the film just wasn't coming together how I expected it because I probably would have not shot something a certain way, or a scene would have been better if the line was different, if there was an extra character in there. So, editing for me was, I think it was that make or break the film part. And when the night of the event comes and we watch all the films, I'm okay going through everybody else's projects. But once when it reaches my project, my chest is going like that. And I just want it to be over because in myself, I think that I didn't do enough and I could have done way more, which is always the case. Nothing is ever, perfect in the end. And when it's time to announce the winners, I don't think my heart stopped since, my films aired or was viewed by the audience. And then when, it's time to go up and collect the award, it just gets worse. And, it takes everything in me to remain composed, to try to go up there and, take the trophy, shake the person's hand and try to smile for the camera when the entire time my nerves are going crazy and my smile is twitching. And, it's I don't know the right adjective to use, but I think it's kind of a mirror moment where, I go into this thing thinking, this film won't probably cop all the awards I get, the award I think it would get, because, I could have done way more work, we could have done a lot more, we could have done things differently. But then when they call your name or call the name of your film and you go up there and get the trophy, it's like, you did well. And in those moments, I'm completely appreciative of everyone involved because I could not have done it without them. So every time I think it's a fun thing when, the award is personal. Let's say for something like Best Script, when you wrote it, or Best Director, you directed it. For me, it's personal, but I like having everyone there on stage with me because, it's our thing.
I think as creatives, we are very hard on ourselves and the process that we go through. So we discussed some things that we wanted to shoot, and we were having challenges with actually achieving some of what we wanted to shoot. When it was time to edit, footage missing, all sorts of stuff. Technical difficulties and whatever. I knew that it would be a good film, but I didn't expect to win anything. right? So it was my first time actually putting my thoughts out there like that in terms of a film, because I put my thoughts out there all the time. I shoot stuff, I write very good captions when I post my pictures, but I've never done a film. So when I didn't even tell anybody that outside of the persons who I worked with and probably like 2 other people, I told no one that I was working on a film or I had entered a film. Not even Miss Daly, and Miss Daly is like one of my mentors and I usually tell her stuff, and I was sitting right beside her and we were watching the film and we heard the reaction of the crowd, especially at the final the final scene of the film.
Yeah.
And it was when the film was done and she saw my logo come up, she turned and she looked at me like, "Oh, you never tell me see you do a film." I'm like, I didn't nervous. I want to talk about it. And then they said best short film, and then they said see me, I grabbed Miss Daly. I'm like, oh my god, because I never seem real. And I see Sherry's moving, Eric moving, Carl had kind of just come off the stage because of another film. Carl was in almost every film. Yeah. So it was a really surreal moment. So we got best short film, and then they announced best actress, and I'm all over the place for Rio, and I was screaming in an unladylike way. But I mean, I was really happy that she tapped into her potential and she was rewarded for it. And then best cinematography, I'm like, oh my god, my first time 3 awards. I don't think I slept that night because I was in the moment. I'm like, I tried something new. And the film was symbolic of what I was going through. I wanted people to see me, and it did well. So it was awesome. And my mom and my stepdad were there too, so it made it even more awesome. Because I never told them that I entered a film. I just invited them to film festival.
So finally, panelists, what are your final words to our viewers today?
Okay, I think for me it would be work from your strengths. There's a tendency to tell people to work on your weaknesses, but if you're constantly working on your weaknesses, you're going to keep focusing on that and keep on doing that. So I think it would be best to work from your strengths so you can develop more. And you will find persons who are stronger at the things that you are weak in to create the balance to go forward.
For me, I'd say the most important thing to do is to plan. Plan for anything that can happen, plan for things that you think will never happen, and plan for the things you want to happen. Furthermore, it's best to know exactly who you're working with, because the people around you are what are going to help you to get where you want to go.
I would say have fun while you're doing it, because when you leading up to it and also after you plan and everything, on the day you don't want everybody to feel tense and everything, so you have to make sure that you stay calm even in any situation that happens, and you have fun while you're doing it, and that will help, everybody feel comfortable while you're on set.
Okay, so my advice would be to definitely consult with your producer in regards to how they want you to be in the film. Of course, they have their expectations and what they require of you. So as I had mentioned before, indulge in the film, have fun while you're doing it, laugh, cry, just give all of you, basically, when you're doing it. And I'm sure you reap the benefits of it.
Thank you all so much for being here today. And that concludes Winners Roundtable for this episode. I want to encourage you, viewers, if you're interested, join the Lignum Vitae Film Festival. And why don't you give creating a try? I'll see you next time. This is a call for videos for the Lignum Vitae Film Festival held at the NCU Main Gymnatorium.
This year it will be April 5th, 2020.
The theme for this year is developing skills built on character. And I want you to develop a film built around the theme. Or you can even submit a film that you already have at lvff@ncu.edu.jm. There is a cost of only $500 Jamaican attached to each submission. You can make your payment to Northern Caribbean University, Department of Communication Studies. The account number is at the bottom of your screen. So let's get going on those submissions, everyone. For more information, call the Department of Communication Studies at the numbers at the bottom of your screen. So what are you waiting for? Come on, let's get creating.